This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to Something to Wrestle with Bruce Prichard. Bruce, what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm positively wonderful. And how in the hell are you?
Well, I'm glad you changed your tune. I'm so excited to be talking about this show with you. We're covering Saturday night's main event, 28 today. It's from October 13th, 1990. So just a couple of days ago was the 30-year anniversary of the show. Bruce, I'm pretty fired up to cover this one with you. 1990. Whew, I was at the peak of my fandom as a little kid.
I was a young, good Lord, 30 years ago.
Yep.
Good Lord. I'm not that old. I'm 34 now.
This one went down at the Toledo Sports Arena in Toledo, Ohio. It was actually recorded nearly a month prior on September 18th, and it airs on NBC, but this is the second to last Saturday night's main event to air on NBC in the 90s. By Saturday night's main event 30, the show would be on the Fox network, but the conversations were already happening, especially around the newsletters surrounding this. And Meltzer reported that the company had signed the deal with the Fox network to produce a special in February that would essentially be like a WrestleMania countdown show. And the report said that Fox would pay more for the WWF than NBC does, but there was concern that the NBC executives might not be so happy that you guys were jumping ship. And of course they did fail to renew, and now you're moving to Fox. So two more. This is the next to the last one. When we first started talking about Saturday night's main event, you made it very clear that NBC was very hands-on, and Dick Ebersol, as we famously said here on the show, Dick was everywhere. They were scripting some of the promos and had a lot of input. Was the bloom off the rose here?
I think a little bit, and more than anything, I don't know that it was so much that NBC was unhappy. I don't think that they were unhappy at all. Matter of fact, they had a great deal, so there's nothing for them to be unhappy about. However, the production of the television show, you look at what happened from the time that they started with Saturday night's main event to now, 1990. The television studio in Stamford had opened. So we had our own state-of-the-art editing facilities and editors and producers and everything that was working in-house for us. There was no longer a need to go to Beetlejuice and do that. With the folks in New York City, and that's what Ebersol's folks wanted to do. They wanted to edit where they were comfortable at Beetlejuice in New York, and we had our own facility. So it's like, no, let's use our facility. In addition to that, there had been a little bit of controversy with the director of Saturday night's main event from the NBC side, and it actually wasn't even NBC. It was Dick's production company and us, in that he wanted to do things his way, and Vince wants to do things his way. It's Vince's ball and it's Vince's game. So that's the way that we're going to do it. So we had gradually taking more and more control over of that product, where before it was on the production side of things and network side of things handled by Ebersol's production company, much more so than us. And now, as we have our own facilities and things are getting bigger and growing, we're taking a lot more ownership of it. And we're doing a lot more of it.
Talk to me a little bit about when things started to get a little rocky. One of the things I saw in the Observer, and I'm sure you're going to cry foul on that, but I at least want to bring it up. There's blood in this particular show. Of course, we're going to see Dustin Rhodes sitting ringside. $1 Million Man's going to try to buy everyone's seat around him. He won't sell his seat. Eventually it breaks down. Virgil and DiBiase attack Dustin. Dusty comes in for the save, but it's too late. His son has been lacerated. So there's blood here on NBC, but the Observer would write, quote, Titan ran into trouble in 89 when it aired blood by a blade wound, which is expressly against NBC standards in violation of Titan's contract with the network. While some are saying the juice was hard way or an accident, if that's the case, it will be edited off the show. My guess is that's far too coincidental to be anything but part of an angle. So do you remember there being quote unquote heat, if you will, in 89 about you guys, getting a little color on NBC?
Wait a minute. I want to see where this guy comes up with that there was this written agreement, no blade. I want to see that, Dave.
Right.
And you know what? If you can produce that document and prove that, then I'll quit the show.
Well, let's hope he doesn't.
I'll quit everything. It's just a blatant made up fabrication from some wannabe gossip monger sitting there creating his own conspiracy theories and making shit up.
Okay, you ain't got to get hot about it.
No, I am hot about it because it's just a lie that you probably read when you were looking at that 1989 as a small little Conrad, and you were probably at the Motel 6 Conradison. It wasn't a Conradison yet. It would grow to that. But yet you probably believed the lies and the bullshit and fabrication that this person printed. I can't even call him a man, that this person printed and represented as fact when it is pure fiction. Could you imagine the lawyer drawing that contract up?
No.
Well, it would be Clint. My name is Clint, a lawyer from Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And I'm going to stipulate that there will be no blood with someone taking a blade out of their pocket and cutting themselves on NBC Saturday night's main event. Fuck me running.
Took the territory. Hey, you saw, but we announced earlier today, if I can do a humble brag, your brother, Dr. Tom, the most prolific wrestling trainer of all time, is coming to adfreeshows.com. We're going to do a thing with him, Bruce, called X-Ray, where you've maybe seen some of your favorite matches, but now we're going to take another deeper look at them. And almost like the NFL's answer to Gruden's QB camp, Dr. Tom is going to break down these classic matches and explain to fans what he sees through a wrestler's eyes, why that match was their favorite, breaking it down piece by piece. Is there anybody better to dissect wrestling and why it worked than your brother?
Dr. John Richards. No, I really can. And I think that he'll offer that insight that everybody wishes that they could have, understanding why it is that things are done and why, when some things are done, they're not always the best things to do.
We're filming it this weekend, and it's going to debut in November. It's going to be a weekly video series, and I can't wait because I'll be honest, I have a lot of favorite matches, but I don't understand why they did what they did and why that made sense and why it worked, and maybe sometimes why it didn't work. So I'm looking forward to learning the mechanics, and check out adfreeshows.com. Going to be lots more fun stuff coming there. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at savewithconrad.com.